Einen schönen guten Tag, wir sind wieder zurück bei Honkai Star Rail. Ich hoffe, diese Aufnahme funktioniert besser als das, was ich zuletzt aufgenommen habe, nämlich Will Waves. Da hatte ich echt ein bisschen Aufnahmeprobleme. Ich hoffe, das ist diesmal nicht mehr der Fall. Wir legen also jetzt einfach los, starten das Ganze, gehen wieder in unsere Mission. Wir waren zuletzt hier. Anscheinend muss ich als dein Hang spielen. Was ich natürlich wieder richtig geil finde, weil da darf ich alles vorlesen, aber das ist leider so. Ich lalle ein bisschen, weil kann passieren. Gut, gehen wir einfach weiter. Und nein, ich bin nicht besoffen, es ist wahrscheinlich einfach nur nicht jetzt am Wasserrad drehen. Ach stimmt, ich muss jetzt in irgendeine Bibliothek fahren. Aufsteigen. Ich habe schon wieder vollkommen vergessen, es ist über 2 Wochen her, dass ich das letzte Mal gespielt habe. Also nicht, dass ich das letzte Mal gespielt habe, sondern dass ich das letzte Mal an der Mission gearbeitet habe, weil ich habe zumindest gestern oder heute ein bisschen Grindarbeit gemacht, einfach weil es notwendig ist. Man muss ja immer mal wieder ein bisschen gucken, dass man doch ein bisschen was schafft. Sonst wird's kacke.
This is the place, but where is everything? Materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone.
Das
The Black
ist
Tide destroyed it
ungünstig.
all.
Kein Wunder, dass wir auf dem Weg keine Verteidigungsmechanismen gesehen haben. Warst du schon mal hier?
No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking right as rain, but come out covered in soap with his hair singed. Naturally, no one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact.
Okay, dann schauen wir uns das Bücherregal an. Also intakt kann ich es jetzt nicht nennen, weil da fehlt ein Teil und da ist nur eine Rolle, aber okay. Dies sind Anaxagoras angeforderte Materialien. Dokumente aus verschiedenen Fachbereichen wurden an einem Ort zusammengetragen, darunter Schöpfung der Titanen, die Universalität der Seele, die Lehre der Alchemie und so weiter. Das meiste Material scheint zum Forschungsbereich des Nosporismus zu gehören. Allerdings befindet sich auch ein Dokument mit dem Titel Eine Studie über den Hintergrund der Erben von Chrysos darunter.
What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our friends in Alchema and...
Diese Notizen enthalten einige interessante Punkte. Anaxas Forschung: Mit Hilfe der Alchemie wird Anaxa das goldene Blut der Erben von Chrysos bis zu einem Reinheitsgrad verfeinern, der der Göttlichkeit gleichkommt. Das muss es sein, was er mit Annäherung an die wahre Reinheit meint. Aber sowohl die Schöpfung der Titanen als auch der menschliche Körper als Materialien für alchemistische Experimente zu behandeln, das ist ziemlich extrem.
Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this. My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation.
Ja, das wussten wir ja schon. Du meinst, er versucht, menschliche Seelen alchemistisch zu rekonstruieren?
Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on.
Da war
Something
eine
he
Katze.
had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something.
Was denn?
Do you remember? When the Black Tide was approaching, the Grove had planned to send Cersei's Coreflame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process.
Aber Cersei hat seinen Körper übernommen und ihn wiederbelebt. Was zu der Situation geführt hat, in der wir uns jetzt befinden.
That's right. But what if Professor Anax's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident.
Okay. Was meinst du damit?
Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the black tide was closing in and your time was running out.
Ich würde meine Theorie testen, koste es, was es wolle.
Exactly. When the black tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the luminary throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame.
Hatte Erfolg?
No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circes would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing.
Könnte er sie für andere Zwecke genommen haben?
Like what? There's only one Titan left in the world now. No. No way.
Was? Nur wenn wir die Prinzipien der Schöpfung verstehen, können wir die Perfektion schon im ersten Atemzug des Lebens erreichen. Wenn Anaxa jetzt in Akima ist, bedeutet das...
He's after Kefali.
Okay.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here for you. Much like how the sky above the Holy City is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
Ja, das ist wohl oder übel sehr oft so. Wenn man darüber nachdenkt und man ja auch genau weiß, wo seine Klamotten herkommen zum Beispiel, ist das auch so eine Sache. Du brauchst was zum Anziehen. Und du hast keine Unmengen an Geld. Also musst du damit leben, wo die Klamotten herkommen. Und das ist Kacke.
Then they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we're different. We've already walked out of the firelit cave of ignorance. We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas, only to burn them to ashes when I open my eyes in the day.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over a hypothesis that cannot even be proven in the first place.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity, you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just, as I see it, Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And where there is an end, there must also be a beginning. How then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No, I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaxa,
Wer stört?
I'm here. Her life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end, and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what...
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and her survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember, because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
That's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world. So who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness? Yet you have no idea who she is. The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that. But it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like if I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
What the fuck? Sorry, ich habe gerade einfach nicht reden können, weil ich einfach etwas erstaunt war.
News from Hyacinth and Danhung. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Sehr gut möglich. Also nur um das jetzt nochmal irgendwie zusammenzufassen. Der Typ hat erstmal versucht herauszufinden, was eine Seele ist. Und was ein Titan ist. Und will jetzt, dass er als Titan wiedergeboren wird, weil die sind ja quasi aus Menschen gestorben. Gestorbenen Menschen entstanden oder irgendwie so. Ich bin sehr gespannt, wie das jetzt abgeht.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
Ich hoffe doch, ich will es sehen.
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kynus is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Wir warten hier auf seine Neuigkeiten. Bis dann.
preposterous! The Christos heirs only have their standing because of the Council of Elders! How dare they trample over it!
Wow, diese Leute erdolchen mich förmlich mit ihren Blicken.
It's been a while.
Hallo, Oleg von Amphorius.
What is that supposed to mean? Is this really the sort of person that the young lord praised as a ferocious warrior?
It has indeed been some time, Lord Crateros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh, keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for kindness. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night?
Nein, ich habe einen tiefen Schlaf.
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the council.
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
Jetzt wird's lustig.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Crateros.
Ich bin wieder ich. Na dann, bewegen wir uns mal.
Carefully into Lent and above, as the Theoros I have observed.
Aglaya, what happened here?
Gute Frage.
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit I am now unable to do so.
What do you mean?
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites, no longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up, Finan.
Yes, this is my duty.
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words instead of lances. There is no glory in winning this debate, but that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope we'll live up to your expectations and win this debate.
Das wird sowas von schief gehen. Ach, ehrlich, muss ich jetzt debattieren?
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today.
Muss das sein?
Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back then, Amphorius was home to nearly 1,000 cities, each with their own local faith, while gods walked the earth and shared close bonds with humans. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kefali's protection. All of us have long been in the same boat, with no way out of this plight. We didn't have a choice in the past, but now the Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility, all I have left is one question for you. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova, or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Make your choice.
Mal so als dumme Frage. Wenn keine Götter mehr existieren, die unter den Menschen wandeln, weil die alle tot sind, wie zur Hölle willst du zur alten Ära wieder zurückkommen? Das geht nicht.
Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
Natürlich unterstütze ich die Ära Nova. Die Ära Nova ist der Pfad der Erlösung, den die Götter versprochen haben. Wir sollten keinen Zweifel an der Flammenjagd haben.
We all know that Era Chrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kindness. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the three Titans of Calamity be born, and Era Chrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those Titans, and Era Chrysia will descend upon us again.
Ja, nee, so funktioniert das nicht.
Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side. Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages, and Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these 2 heroes, I can promise all of you that Era Chrysia will exist once more.
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of Elders instead?
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaya is unfit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of Era Chrysia.
Era Chrysia! Era Chrysia! Castorus? Why are you standing over there?
Das ist eine berechtigte Frage.
You finally arrived, Naxa. So have you, Cass.
Ui, mein Rücken knackt. Alles im Arsch. Ist so komisch, auf dem Hotelbett zu schlafen. Aber ich bin jetzt endlich wieder in meinem eigenen Bett, aber mein Rücken muss ich erstmal dran gewöhnen. Sorry.
Don't worry, Aglaya. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizen, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core flame without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
The answer is simple. We will have a chance to rid the world of death and bring Amphorius back to an era when all beings live forever. We'll usher in a new future that will be entirely different from the flame chase.
He's one of the 7 sages.
Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we go back to the old days?
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, Fagusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions. Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is talking about anywhere within the walls of this majestic holy city?
Aber dieser Ort wird früher oder später das Ziel des Flammendiebs sein.
Oh? Could it be that you heard that from the Flame Reaver themselves? Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn. Oh, beautiful old world, where are you now? Oh, legendary Era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm.
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of Calamity, the flame chase journey will have to end.
Era Chrysia! Yes!
This is bad. The masses are now totally riled up.
Anaxa, pray tell. Everything that you've mentioned hinges on the premise that we can find Thanatos' existence. right?
Thank you, Lady Aglaya, for still caring about this city. However, dear citizens, we are truly fortunate and blessed. For Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find Thanatos under my guidance.
With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorus brings back will be personally managed by the... Thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly, we shall spare no effort in ensuring that the Era Chrysia will return to our world once again.
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. Buy carefully into Lent and above, as the Theoros I have observed. Akama has chosen her destiny. The issue up for discussion at this Citizens' Assembly shall be modified to the suspension of the Flame Chase journey. This resolution shall be put up on the Wall of Heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way forward.
Aglaya, dear Aglaya. What has caused your heart to soften? You also don't seem to be as quick-witted as before.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the Flame Chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the cards.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.
Ja, Ende der Debatte und die Anwesenden gehen auseinander. Und du? Castorize spricht mit Castorize. Hi.
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
In that case, please tell us as much as you can.
Warte kurz, nee, Quatsch. Was ist passiert, als du Anaxa aufgesucht hast?
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
Okay.
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Was bedeutet?
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes.
Jetzt bin ich wieder Castorize, oder was?
Have you heard of this tale before? A tale about the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown.
Okay.
It was a seaside town which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times, thanks to the wisdom of its ruling queen, until one day, an evil dragon descended upon the town. Its wings were large enough to blot out the sun, while its claws were sharp enough to rip the waves apart. It barged into the tall tower and devoured the queen's beloved daughter. It even settled itself in her bedroom, like a tyrant king. The queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, when the queen slit open the dragon's belly, she realized that the princess had long since been digested, and all that was left of her was a pile of bones. Devastated, the queen wept for several days. It was then that a devious, smooth-talking scholar arrived at the palace and suggested that the princess could be revived through the use of dragon bone and dragon blood. That liar called this process the secret art of alchemy. The princess was reborn! The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. As revenge, The evil dragon swallowed the poor queen, the glib liar, the courageous warriors, and all of the town's innocent civilians in a single gulp. Worse still, the souls of the deceased refused entry to the Netherrealm because they were filled with regret. Forced to roam the mortal realm, these resentful souls ultimately converged into a river of souls that would not retreat for a long time. The terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter, our hometown fell into ruin as well.
Until?
Until? Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh, my... It seems that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Pelixia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? It's practically a mirror image. And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I created with alchemy. As for what it is and how I was able to accomplish it, I'll keep the answers to myself for now.
Oh, my goodness. Is this cliffhanger really necessary?
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid play, and the truth will naturally reveal itself.
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what do you think of it?
I think that this so-called alchemy was a tenuous analogy added to the story by future generations. After all, you've never heard of a tradition of alchemy in your hometown before, have you?
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue my education, I never even knew that anybody was looking into this area of study.
Die sieht irgendwie aus wie Castoreis.
Therefore, we can just treat this tale as a fable told to young children.
A fable, you say? If so, what moral is it trying to impart to the kids?
I guess it might be the concept of equivalent exchange.
Oh? I thought the moral might be closer to something like honor the dead. What? At a loss for words?
No, I merely realized that we're both thinking of the same principle. If life is priceless, then there is hardly anything else in this world that is of equal weight to it, right?
Indeed. As expected of the wisest scholar in the land.
You flatter me. Why don't I ask you a question as well, as a form of equivalent exchange?
Of course. What is your question?
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
What? What kind of strange question is this? I got it. You're just trying to get me to tell you whether I like anyone, right?
Let's just leave it at that. That was rude of me.
Yes, I would.
Oh?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I'm certain that someone whom I cherish deeply, if such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. After all, you, me, and the rest will all have to face that fate. My time is finally here. However, perhaps because of my firm belief in the immeasurable value of life,
Wenn man die Option hat, jemanden vom Tod wieder zurückzuholen und es der Person dann auch gut geht, sollte man das nicht immer versuchen? Weiß es nicht. Schwer zu sagen. Wenn es der Person natürlich danach nicht gut geht und ihr Leben nicht lebenswert ist, sollte man es vielleicht nicht tun. Ist genauso wie immer die Frage, sollte man vielleicht irgendwann den Stecker ziehen, wenn eine Person schon nicht mehr da ist. Wer weiß. Das sind moralische Fragen, die ich auch nicht so einfach beantworten kann. Ich schätze, am Ende ist es von Fall zu Fall unterschiedlich.
I am unable to complete the trial.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. It is a pity that fate is such a cruel mistress.
Is there no other way of interpreting those words?
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister and me, one must pay the price. Our trial can only be completed when the one chosen sacrifices her life. I'm afraid that the prophecy might even have selected a pair of twins for this exact purpose.
Fortune makes fools of us all.
My sister is prepared to sacrifice herself. And yet, I can't do the same. How absurd. My time is almost up, but I'm still afraid to welcome death. What should we do? If I'm ultimately not able to make up my mind...
Since Chaos is willing to guide all of us and leave this trial to the end, there is still plenty of time for you to ponder.
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Trial, prophecy, the topics that they're discussing seem familiar. But these three people must not have left their names in the epics. Otherwise, I would have some recollection of this.
Amphorius's history before the Titans were born was complete chaos. Is that not strange by itself? I have long held 3 hypotheses about this. However, let's continue watching for now.
Calypso, Polixia, and this warrior... I seem to have met him somewhere before.
Regarding this matter, Nias, are you confident that you'll complete your trial?
Of course. Though, I am worried about what will happen once I've emerged victorious.
Looks like you have made up your mind.
Yes, this is the safest course of action.
Completely separating courage, honor, tenacity, sacrifice, and reason. You really know how to make things difficult.
Please, young lady, witness my fall and demise. Lady Calypso, you shall host the soul-rending ceremony.
I do not understand. Why would you dare to sacrifice yourself for a future that you won't get to witness?
Das ist immer so die Frage. Wenn ich jetzt zum Beispiel ein Kind hätte und ich liebe dieses Kind, dann würde ich mich auch opfern für seine Zukunft. Selbst wenn ich sie dann nicht mehr erlebe. Also finde ich ein guter Grund für so eine Situation.
Because this is our destiny. The power that resides within me is so intense that I will one day be engulfed by it.
Okay, also wenn du einfach nur sagst, es ist dein Schicksal und es ist nicht für jemand anderen, dann ist es ziemlich langweilig. Aber ansonsten würde ich sagen, gibt es gute Gründe, sich für eine Zukunft zu opfern.
Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk. A journey I began long ago. If your sister or Chaos were in my position, I believe they would make the same choice as well.
I'm not that brave. I don't know how I'm supposed to face such a serious affair.
Despite being Death's chosen one, it seems you still don't know how to face it.
Let's chat, young lady. Perhaps I shouldn't end my journey so hastily. Since there's still time, I'm not worried about letting fate wait a little longer.
Of course. This warrior is Lord Anaias. As the embodiment of Nikador's divinity, he entrusted his life to us and allowed humankind to end his madness. That means that what I'm currently seeing before my eyes is in fact...
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been proven true. These heroes are the true forms of the Titans, before they attained their divinity. If so, the chosen one of death that he speaks of is...
Polixia? Is the previous form of Thanatos? But her appearance...
If this is true, as long as we can find out where she went, we'll naturally be able to figure out the location of the Death Titan.
But before that, we first need to witness what ultimately happened to Lord Anaias.
Okay. Also, ziemlich viel Information. Wisst ihr was, spaßeshalber, ich ziehe mal hier auf sie. Einfach weil ich es kann. Oder vielleicht doch auf Eglias E1. Bringt eh nichts. Kommt nichts bei raus. Ich habe einfach kein Glück. Ich müsste theoretisch auch ein bisschen sparen, weil demnächst kommen ja neue Leutchens hier rein. Unter anderem Saber und Archer aus Fate, der Serie. Manga, Anime, was auch immer ihr vielleicht davon gesehen habt. Aber das werden interessante Charaktere. Ich tue schon ein bisschen auf sie sparen. Ich habe ja immerhin noch ein bisschen Zeit, bis sie kommen. Aber wahrscheinlich so in 5, 6 Tagen sollten die dann auch soweit sein. Dann wird es die beiden als extra Banner geben, als absolute Eventfiguren. Ich glaube, die wird es danach auch nicht nochmal geben. Ich weiß es nicht hundertprozentig. Kann natürlich auch sein, dass sie durchgängig im Spiel verankert werden. Das kann ich nicht hundertprozentig sagen. Auf jeden Fall wird es spannend. Genauso kommt dann auch er hier, Phynon. Auf ihn habe ich noch nicht wirklich irgendwie gespart, weil ich weiß nicht, was ich von ihm halten soll. Währenddessen Saber und Archer werden bestimmt ziemlich stark sein, einfach deswegen, weil das halt nun mal Kollaborationsfiguren sind. Und dementsprechend könnte da was Gutes bei rauskommen, im Gegensatz zur Kollaborationsfigur, die es in Genshin Impact gab. Die war ja ein bisschen lasch, würde ich mal sagen. War ja auch nur ein 4-Sterne-Charakter. Das hier sind 5-Sterne-Charaktere. Da könnte wahrscheinlich einiges dahinter stecken. Und ich bin sehr gespannt, was dahinter stecken wird. Das werden wir aber erst nach dem Update sehen. Jetzt ist es noch nicht so weit. Dementsprechend werden wir das jetzt leider noch nicht erfahren. Aber ich denke, wir haben heute sehr, sehr viel gesehen. Sehr, sehr viel zugesehen. Vor allen Dingen nicht viel machen müssen, ganz ehrlich. Hier sind noch ein paar Gegnerchen, die hier rumdümpeln. Könnte man theoretisch mal noch angreifen, zumindest den einen hier. Einfach nur, damit wir wenigstens einen einzigen Kampf gemacht haben. Weil ich es einfach mal gerade brauche. Oh, ich habe ja noch den Autopilot an. Wow. Die sind so gut wie tot. Okay, ich mach sie tot. Boom. Das war ein bisschen einfach. Aber hey, warum auch nicht? Hier sind irgendwelche Sachen, die man untersuchen kann. Aber das werde ich jetzt nicht tun. Ich denke, das war's erstmal für heute. Ich glaube, ich brauche auch erstmal fürs Erste nicht mehr. Wir werden demnächst, ja, wie gesagt, dann den ganzen neuen Spaß bekommen. Hier habe ich irgendwas gerade gekriegt. Aufträge können wir auch mal wieder abholen. Einfach nur, weil das Material braucht man immer. Und ich denke, wir werden uns dann einfach beim nächsten Mal wiedersehen, wenn es mit der ganzen Story weitergeht. Wenn wir mehr über den Titanen des Todes erfahren und keine Ahnung. Ich bin sehr gespannt, was passieren wird, aber ich glaube, ich brauche auch mal wieder ein bisschen Abwechslung. Ich hätte gerne neue Charaktere, die vielleicht ein bisschen Spaß machen und die man auch ziehen kann. Ich habe aber auch einfach hier wieder so ein paar Sachen. Zum Beispiel ihre Trailblaze-Mission, da bin ich ja, glaube ich, noch nicht mal. Oder? Ist das schon die Trailblaze-Mission? Wobei, ich habe ja hier auch Hyacinth und so. Kann ich nicht einschätzen, ob das schon die neueste ist oder nicht. Aber das werden wir sehen. Gut, dann war's das für heute und wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal. Bis dahin. Tschüss.